All right, welcome to this episode of Mathmeotics. We're going to be talking about the Texas Practice End of Course Assessment for y'all for Algebra 1. And so question number 1, it says, which is the simplified form of the expression? So we have 9r times r plus 3 minus 2r times r minus 4. So we need to distribute. So I'm going to distribute this 9r to both terms inside the parentheses. I'm also going to distribute this negative 2r to both terms inside the parentheses. So that's going to give me, when I rewrite this, that's going to give me 9r squared plus 9 times 3 will be 28. 27r. Then we need to talk about the second side. So then we're going to have minus 2r squared plus, because a minus times a minus become a positive, 8r. Now we need to combine like terms. We have a 9r squared there, and we have a negative 2r squared there. We have a 27r there and an 8r there. 9r squared minus 2r squared it's going to give us 7r squared. So that counts out A and B. And then we have plus 27 plus 8 will give us 35r. So our answer is D. Problem number 2. It says if f of x is equal to 3/4 x plus 5/6, what is f of 12? Well, when it says that 12 is on the inside, remember, this number here, this is our input. This is our value of x. Okay, so we're going to input the value of 12. So f of 12, so f of 12 is going to be equal to 3/4 times 12 plus 5/6. Now, I'm going to have to do this a little bit long way because I don't have my calculator here. 3 times 12 will give me 36. Divided by 4 will give me 9. So 3/4 times 12 will give me 9 plus 5/6. Now, in order for me to combine like terms, this is going to be 9 over 1. I need to have a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply this by 6. 9 times 6 will give me 54. 54 plus 5 over 6 will give me 59 over 6. So our answer is F. Oops. Number 3. It says, which function rule is graph below? So that means that we're looking at a graph of a line. Okay, I'm going to look at my y-intercept. My y-intercept, if I talk about, this is negative 1, this is 2. So then this is going to be at negative 3. So I can count on A, I can count, so A I can just count out. So now I just need to look at my slope. My B value is going to be negative 3, or my y-intercept is going to be 0, negative 3. Okay. Now I need to do, in order for me to find my slope, I need to do my rise over my run. So I'm going to rise up. I'm going to pick 2 perfect points. I have a perfect point there. Oops, sorry. A perfect point there, and I have a perfect point there. So I'm going to go up 1, 2. So I rose 2. So if I'm rising, then I know it's going to be positive. And then I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to run to the right 4 units. Well, 2/4 will simplify to 1/2. So my answer is D. Now let's go over here to number 4. Number 4, it says solve for the equation y equals 2xz squared minus xy, and it wants us to solve for x. Okay, so that means that I need, my x terms are here and here. Well, if we remember, we can do something special in terms of, we can take a GCF. That x, if I look at both of these terms, I have x in both of those terms, so I can pull out an x. So I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to say y is equal to x times 2. Now if I pull out the GCF of x, I'm left with 2z squared inside the parentheses minus y inside the parentheses. Okay? Now, I can just simply divide by x here, okay? Now, if I divide by x, I'm going to divide both sides by x, so that's going to cancel out. So then I'm left with y over x is equal to 2z squared minus y. Actually, hold on, let me take out the parentheses. So that's going to be 2z squared minus y. Now, I need to get rid of this, actually, hold on, let me rephrase that. Let me start back over here. Let me go back. Let me erase this, because hold on. We want x by itself, so I'm actually doing an extra step that I don't need to here. Sorry. My apologies. So it's going to be y is equal to x times 2z squared minus y. Well, to get x by itself, I divide this whole right side. So 2z squared minus y. And then I'm going to divide this side by 2z squared minus y. So that's going to cancel out. And that's going to leave me with x is equal to y over 2z squared minus y. Well, let's answer choice is that. That is J. Okay? It is that simple. Problem number 5. Factor. All right, we're going to factor x squared minus 5x plus 6. Well, what are the two factors of 6 that will add up to 5? I know that it needs to be positive. So I could say, well, 6, negative 6, and 1. But if I have negative 6 and negative 1, that would add up to a sum of 7. So that won't work. That would be negative 7. So that won't work in terms of for our answer. Okay? Well, let's look at our answer choices. We have 3 and 2. Okay? Now, and we need to have negative 3 times negative 2 to equal 6. And adding up sum-wise would equal negative 5. So that works. Negative 3 and negative 2. So, x minus 3 times x minus 2. That would be C. Now, let's double check. Because we wanted to, especially when we're dealing with signs here, we want to make sure that we got this right. So, x times x will give me x squared. X times negative x will give me negative 2x. Negative 3 times negative 3 times x will give me negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 2 will give me positive 6. So then that will give me x squared minus 5x plus 6. That matches our original polynomial, so we are good. Number 6. Which of the following gives a definition for the geometric sequence? Geometric means that we're looking for a multiple. Okay? So if I talk about what am I multiplying each term by to get that value? Well, if I multiply 3 by negative 1, that would give me negative 3. And if I multiply negative 3 by negative 1, that would give me positive 3. And so that would give me this. So if I multiply 1, the first term, by negative 1, that would give me my second term. So this is T1, this is T2, this is T3. So my common I'm multiplying by negative 1. Okay, so my rate is going to be negative 1. My common rate. So and my first term is positive 3. So I'm not sure why they give us negative 1 here. So that won't work. So A and B won't work. And J won't work because if we multiply our first term, because A sub 1, that's saying that that's our first term. This is saying for whichever term. So if I talk about the second term, so the first term, I look at the second term, so that's negative 3. Minus 1 will give us the first term. And times 1 will not give us that term. So J is our answer. Okay? Might want to look back over, double check geometric sequences. Since we didn't really cover that in class, watch some of those videos again just in case. Alright, number 7. Which of the following correlations represents a causal relationship? Causal means that it causes it to happen. The number of cats and the number of dogs in a shelter. Nope. The number of cats in a shelter and the amount of cat food used. Well, that could be causal. The number of visitors and the number of cats in the shelter? Nope. The amount of money in the cash drawer and the number of cats in the shelter? Nope. Okay, so our answer is, of course, B. And then I'll do the next page on the next video. See you then.